Hey guys, this is Gary here from Not Again Podcast. How have you guys been? I hope you guys are doing fine. I hope you guys are doing alright. Welcome to my show. Welcome to my podcast. How have you guys been? First, I would like to apologize. Like this episode, it's a day late. It's wrong. I think it's wrong to do that. I know, like there are few episodes like previously. There are a few times that I decided to skip 1 week because of various reasons. Because I'm a little bit busy that week. Feel bad about that. I think I shouldn't do that. I should be a little bit more regular when it comes to podcasting, right? Because it feels like you decided to meet a friend, right? And you stood him up, right? And I think it's wrong. I've been stood up before. I know the horrible feeling about being stood up. It's horrible. All right, that's why I'm trying to make it a little bit more regular. Yeah. So this is what happened, right? And I would like to say I'm sorry for that to happen. I'm not sure whether I'm trying to make an excuse up. I'm not sure whether I'm trying to make like a reason, right? But I would like to tell you that but yeah, I have a pretty physically demanding job, right? I have a very long week. I know I don't work on the weekend, but this time around I work on the weekend. I'm working for my dad. It's I my dad asked me to do overtime. I guess I have to do it because it's a family business. All right. For those who are wondering, like, what am I doing? I'm doing metal sheet fabrication. Imagine 8 Mile, right? I'm Eminem's character, but I can't rap. I can only do the cutting of metal sheets, folding of metal sheets, welding of metal sheets, and it's a little bit monotonous sometimes. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Right, it's and it's very heavy. That's why, and the metal sheets are very heavy. So it's a little bit, yeah, it's very demanding when it comes to physical works. And I have to work overtime this week. So I know it's supposed to upload like every Saturday, and I'll do the intro every Saturday. But this time now, when I came back from work, I'm too tired. When I opened the door and closed the door, and I didn't realize I fell asleep. And I woke up for half an hour just to have dinner, and I sat down again, and I slept till morning or afternoon. In fact, my body's still so sore. That's why I didn't upload an episode this time around. I feel bad that I didn't do it, but yeah. So this is what happened. I think I should be a little bit more regular when it comes to podcasting, right? Or anything I do. I don't know about this week. It felt a little bit mixed. I got a new mic. I got a pair of new mics. I'm not sure if I should be very proud of that, right? And look, I'm proud of having 2 new mics, but I'm not sure whether should I be, because like what I've mentioned to people who have listened to last week's episodes, right? Where I told them that the mic I had dropped, right? And it broke. My heart broke as well, right? To know that the 2 mics that I had fall off the table and decided to jump down on its own, right, at a distance, where people where we sometimes make fun of it being suicidal. Yeah, it and I have to get 2 new pair of mics, which because of the capsule inside has broken. It doesn't sound good. I'm not sure whether it will work, but I doubt that it will sound good as well. So I felt bad. So I decided to get 2 new mics, and I think that, yeah. So I should do it, right. I should get, and it's time to change like a new pair of mics as well, right. So this is what happens. This is what I think that I should do, right, to get new mics. It's an okay mic. I read online that it's a good mic for podcasting. It's a pretty low entry mic. It's ATR 2005 USB mic for Audio Technica. This is not plugging in, but it'd be nice if people want to know what kind of mics I'm using. I guess that's good. That's a good thing. And yeah, like I say, this is like a very mixed feelings for me. For this week as well. So I've left the Latecomers. Latecomers is like, it's like an improv troupe in Singapore. It's a short game improv troupe. I've been there since 2014, so it's about 3 years now. I first saw, like, when I was there when it just started, right? When it comes out with a comedy, like a improv jam. It was being started by Joanna Sale, and I was there since the start, where she says, hey, she goes, hey, I'm starting a new improv troupe, like I'm doing like an improv workshop. Do you want to join? Do you want to come in and have fun? Right? And I've been going pretty regularly. If there isn't like a clash of things to happen, which is very rare. So I'll be there like almost every rehearsal, almost every jam, almost every workshop, until like recently I'm a little bit exhausted because and I want to focus a lot more on podcasting and stand up, right? Because I had a podcast previously. It's called hashtag a job sucks, and now it has became to this. It has evolved into Not Again podcast. For stand up, I've been starting since 2010, and I took like 2 to 3 years and break in between because of national service. And I realized I had a lot more fun. I had a lot more fun when I came back, where I have ideas, where I talk about stuff that I want to talk about, where I talk about things that I really love, that I think that I should really be talking about. I had a lot of fun playing with them. Right, I had a lot of fun to be in the improv troupe. Yeah, so it's really crazy to for that to happen. It's really crazy to see myself leaving the latecomers. It's kind of sad that I left them. Like the friendship being built there, it's nice as well. I think there's a little bit of sadness in there. There's a little sad note in there to bring in the new guests. But yeah, this time around, this week I have a guest with that's named Gregg Speirs. Gregg is not as active as he was in the Singapore comedy scene anymore. I knew him through the scene, right? He's a huge fan of stand up. His styling is a little bit more like a one-liner short joke kind of thing. And he's very into podcasting like I am. So yeah, so it's a little bit crazy. It's a bit nuts. To those. Then I feel like it's okay to talk to him because he has helped me a lot. Like when I try to first start out, hashtag a job sucks, right? And hashtag a job sucks is like the first prototype of what the podcast, so I think it should go to, like what it should be. Except that it has a team, and hashtag a job sucks has evolved into Not Again podcast. This is what it had become, right? Like there's more, like before that it's just people talking. It's just 3 people talking. Until then, it evolved into people who I want to bring as guests. And I've learned a lot of like ropes, and I've learned a lot of stuff at hashtag a job sucks. And I think that Gregg Speirs is one of them that helped me out. I've looked for him like technical advice. I've looked for him for how do you create a website kind of thing. So yeah, he's the one that helped me a lot in podcasting. He's the one that helped me a lot to first start up my own podcast. He had a podcast. I'm not sure that it's still active. It's called Brujitsu Podcast. So if you guys are interested, you guys can check it out. It's kind of fun for the podcast to listen to. Do check him out if you're interested. We talk about lots of stuff. It is a fun check. It's okay. This is gonna be a long podcast. This is gonna be a long episode where we talk about TV. We talk about journalism. We talk about TV. We talk about like stuff. We talk about feelings and how you should date a woman, right? How you should ask a person out on a date, right? It's a fun episode to listen to, right? It reveals a lot more about both of us, both me and the guest. Yeah, so listen to it. It'll be fun. Alright, do listen to how we think about TV and movies making. Do check out this episode where I have a conversation with Gregg Speirs in Not Again podcast. Enjoy.
I was gonna say I've totally done exactly the same thing before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've getting into a groove, and you're like, oh, and you look down, like, oh, I wonder how long it's been. Oh, plus record. Damn it.
But do you tell your buddies who are doing a podcast with you, or like saying that, hey, you just keep going, or do you just tell them, I think we've missed the recording?
Tell them all the time, because it helps you restructure your thoughts, like, because we already touched on a bunch of stuff, right? So you kind of, you don't want to go back to it because you feel like you miss some of that original energy that you brought to it. But at the same time, but people need to have a start and a finish to their own stories in their heads. So just to just keep going is a bit weird. It's almost like having just 8 punchlines and no premise.
Oh yeah,
because it's like, oh well, okay, but I don't really know how this all ties together, and it doesn't make sense. But I think just either starting fresh or letting everyone know, then they're like, oh, okay, that's fine, all right, whatever, and then just blah blah blah.
We'll talk after the half an hour. We'll talk an hour again.
Totally.
Right,
Yeah,
it's all right. You'll get sick of each other. Yeah.
No, I doubt it. I mean, I like talking about nonsense and nothing and whatever forever. So, I had a friend that worked for Reuters, right? Just a quick story, right? And he worked in the, I think he worked in, the image receiving part of Reuters. So people that took photos and stuff would send it to him. I think he was there for a year a bit and left. He was like, it's too fucked up. I see so much fucked up shit.
What?
Because he was on the image side of where the stories got sent. So if it was fucking bus accident, explosion, guy gets torn in half, blah blah blah, all the horrible shit that's on Reuters, or that can appear on Reuters. And I'm not just saying that Reuters is horrible shit all the time, but he would see that first. He'd be the first person that had to kind of go through and edit which photos to use, which ones to not use. So he saw
a ton of
dark shit, and was like, "I'm out. I don't want to do this."
Doesn't that make a person jaded?
Yeah, totally, man. He definitely did not hang around the news sphere of things. He was like, all right, fuck this, boom, music. Nothing to do with news again, ever. That was it. Still very, worldly wise and things like that, but it was like, no, I'm out, peace, I'm done.
I actually respected journalists and the editor for papers, right? Where if you come from a very, very reputable journalist agency or news agency, I can respect you, right? Because the amount of shit that they have go through, and the amount and being a journalist, you have to write through perspective of stuff, and you don't write as a perspective of, yes, there's a huge, you have to write as a perspective as a journalist, but in order to write to not be biased, in order to write not to be, if you're not biased,
it's almost impossible to write without bias. It's impossible to write.
Yeah.
Almost.
And who do you want to write in the perspective of?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you want to write in a perspective of the villain, or do you want to write in the perspective of victim? More than once, or a lot more times where I've seen people writing through the eyes of victims. And what about the villain?
Yeah.
What's the villain's story? When people write stories about Saddam Hussein.
But more people can. So if I'm okay, let's thought experiment about exactly this, right? So I am a reporter. I'm working in print media, kind of a dying media, right? So I need sales, right? So I might, instead of talking about the villain in this case, right? Who can empathize with a multi-billionaire dictator versus who can empathize with a mother that loves her children that's worried for their safety? Instantly we can kind of imagine the mother and her children huddled around, we want to protect them. You feel those feelings, but you don't understand, own a country and have an army, and like there's such a disconnect there. So like that's why I think a lot of writing comes from the victim's point of view. Yeah, because you want to empathize with them, you want to feel bad for them.
But when you look at the point of view of a villain, which is a good what if sometimes is a good thing, and I'm not sure that I'm not saying that writing in the victim's point of view is lazy. I'm saying that sometimes you walk in the villain point of view. Without saying that, okay, and if it does things, you might not sympathize with him. You might be against him, like going against him. But by writing it at his point of view, it felt like
how can you write it as point of view though? Like only one person has Saddam Hussein's point of view. That's Saddam Hussein. Only one person's got Kim Jong Un's point of view.
But what about his upbringing? His there are times where I remember watching this video clip where the reason why he invaded Kashmir is because Kashmir.
That's where the jumpers are.
Yeah. Oh man, come on!
What? Dad jokes, man. Dad jokes. Love it. That's quality.
Yeah, but when he invaded Kashmir, like the war itself, I remember him saying, or one of the Middle East country, I remember him saying that that
Kuwait.
country. Is it Kuwait?
Yeah, my uncle was there.
Oh, okay. So he the leader of Kuwait, the leader of Kuwait, I think so. Wait, Kuwait is in.
Around the UAE.
I'm not. I couldn't remember. It's either Kashmir or the surrounding.
Saddam invasion was Kuwait. That's what triggered first Gulf War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like 91 or whatever.
This is where I know that.
Sure, yeah.
So when he invaded Kuwait, when he got captured, that he says that Kuwait is the country that got Iraq's woman to got sex slave.
Okay.
Like pushing them as prostitutes.
Right.
And like there's a clip online where Saddam Hussein doing that. It's like, it'll be so much more interesting to see him at his point of view and where does he get sources from where. So you kind of empathize with him. You kind of know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can stand where you still agree with what he did or what he didn't do.
Well, that's the best journalism. The best journalism is to get you to empathize with a fucking monster. Because then you come out, that's when you question yourself more as well. That's the kind of shit I like. Because it's, the victim stuff is easy, but like, to like write about, say, a fucking serial killer or something, and then read the book about the serial killer, and by the time you end the book, you come out and you're like, damn, I mean, that's fucked up, but I understand. I get it, like maybe had a rough childhood or some shit,
I like stories that question your own morality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black Mirror. Oh, you gotta watch every single Black Mirror, man. That's why they're so good.
I think that really brings up the topic that we have talked about, but they recorded the house episodes that I mentioned, where I like stories that are personal, where it comes from a character point of view.
Totally.
Where it comes from where I like character growth rather than just episodes,
Totally.
right? Where.
I guess,
episodic stories. Where, I don't know. It feels like it feels like I like stories that empathize people, and I don't want like a general empathization from a certain group of people. Right? But if you can pick up one character, that's so prominent, and you decide to share that person's story, which is, I feel that is the most. That's one of the most amazing story that I will ever read.
I've just remembered an episode of Black Mirror that I'm gonna say no more about, but I'm gonna like when you head off today, I'll tell you which episode it is. So watch that tonight. Just one episode.
Okay.
And I think it's in like season 3 or whatever. But it's a good example of exactly what we're talking about. But I want to say nothing else, because then you'll like think about it too much. But
I know like there's this one episode where we talk about the British Prime Minister.
oh yeah, and the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that episode you're talking
No,
about?
no.
Oh,
that's
shit.
season 1. That's season 1.
That's season one?
That's season 1, I think. Yeah, it isn't like season 1, episode 2 or something like that, or episode 4.
I thought episode 2 is the story where
It's been a while.
this guy was going to went to a country when traveling, and he got into like a game kind of experiment.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's episode 2, right?
That's season 3,
Season 3,
isn't it?
I'm not
He's
sure.
got like a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's season 3. Because that's like one of the new set that I just watched. Because when season 1 came out, I devoured it. Season 2 came out, devoured it. So and then I had to wait around my ass for ages while season 3 was being done. I think it's I'm not a huge horror fan in terms of like slash flick, whatever, gore porn, great. You know, like Hostel, whatever, guy gets his dick chopped off. Like I'm not into that. You know, like great. There's plenty of fucked up shit on the internet that's real. Like I don't need to go and like watch this manufactured stuff. But Black Mirror, it gets me. Like because it makes you question things, makes you go back to stuff, makes you look at, makes you have a lot of like, oh shit, like kind of those moments where you're like, oh what, and you're kind of, the world that's been made in your brain is flipped upside down, and then you've got to figure it out again. Oh, what's going on?
Just talked to Fast recently. Cool. And he got really confused about my obsession with movies.
Okay.
Like Shaun of the Dead. I've just watched Shaun of the Dead, right?
Great
And,
film.
yeah. And I've watched it 3 times.
Okay.
And there's a few scenes that I've watched and I got really confused. There's this one part where he walked to a convenience store.
Yep.
Right. And the way he does it, it's really, I should say weird, but it's different. Where he check him, where he goes out from
Goes out of his house, turns
goes out
left.
like,
Well, do you know why they did that though?
I have not yet
Okay,
checked.
so he does it 2 times, right? One is before the zombie, one is after the zombie, right? So if you watch it, it's all the people in the background
Yeah.
are exactly the same. So I think I haven't seen this in a while, but I think he like comes out, turns left, and then there's like a little girl skipping, or whatever, right? But he's not paying attention to anything. He's got his head down. He's walking. So he's like past the thing, and then there's like someone at the crossing road, and then someone asks him for change or whatever. Goes through all that, gets some milk or whatever.
Get
gets
like
the shop,
kind of soda.
and then goes back home. So the next time, now the zombies have started, right? Like his housemate's a zombie, but he doesn't realize what the fuck's going on. So if you watch the 2 scenes, like just go online and watch it. Everyone in the background is now a zombie version of the person they were the first time, right? So like that's kind of why they do the 2 scenes, because like,
But the way they do it is very different. And, I mean, I've watched a lot of like this kind of stuff, but there's a lot of other methods that they are able to do it. I get why he does that, like after second time of the movie,
right?
And why does he did that? And why did he do that shot?
Right.
But it's amazing to see like the whole thought process
Right.
from one end to the other. And I was talking to Fast about that, and then he says that I'm weird. Like I got very obsessed about the scene itself. I was like, why is there need to obsess? Why can't you just follow the main storyboard one by one?
I mean, everyone. That's why stories are fun. People take whatever they want out of it. Like everyone's experience in this life is super, subjective. So everyone's I'm gonna remember different things about this conversation than you're gonna remember. And like that's why you can have a conversation. If everyone was identical, then there'd be nothing to talk about because you'd have no counterpoints or anything like that. Nothing interesting. So same as like a movie, you can take whatever you want out of it. So it's, I don't know if it's obsessing, if it's about just paying attention to detail, if it's, I don't know. I thought it was a great flick. I thought it was funny.
It's it's a great movie that I've watched it like the first time 3 weeks ago, and I watch it again and again. Right, this is what I do. Right, where I got confused or where I really love the movie, I'll watch it again and again and again.
Totally.
And it's the same thing too, and it's the same thing where about music as well, right? My latest obsession is this song.
Aqua.
Called, it's what?
Right, Aqua,
No,
Barbie Girl, Dr. Jones.
no. It's surprisingly it's a sad song though.
Okay.
It's
Wait,
not
is
as
that
good.
the one you put up the other day? I think I
Yeah,
saw-
she used to be mine by Sarah Bareilles. So I've played that like
Okay.
like on repeat. Like I had.
Damn, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like I rarely listen to music these days anymore. Anyway, because I don't know, I just listen to podcasts or whatever, or just stuff. But Jen will do that. Jen will listen to the same song on repeat for like a month, and then just be like, "Fuck this song. I'm so over it. I never want to listen to this song again ever." I'm like, okay, what? Because I'll be like, "Oh, what happened to that song you liked? Are you listen to that song anymore?" She'll be like, "No, I hate that song." I'm like, okay, that's weird.
I'm not sure whether it's an experiment or I'm not sure whether like there are some songs that invoke our emotion.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's why you
and-
listen to songs.
And like and the She Used to Be Mine by Sarah Bareilles, the song kind of invoke like a very it's like those emotion where someone sang that.
Yeah.
Just want to give her a big hug.
Totally.
Or give that person a very big hug.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Hey, it's all right. Okay, I'm here. And
Yeah, that's music, man. I mean, God, people have had music be the soundtracks to their revolutions. You know, like it's an emotional thing. You think of the, you know, like that's really like you instantly think kind of army funeral, right? And you're like, oh Jesus Christ, it's sad already.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what brings you back. Like smell is really closely linked to the memory. Same for like music. It'll bring you back to places. It can teleport you instantly to another. Like that's why I love to cook. Right? I can't do anything with music. I can't dance. I've got no sense of rhythm. I can recognize music really quickly, but I can't sing it or whatever. But so I try and do the same thing through cooking, which is like bring people places and take them into either one of my memories or bring them back to one of their memories if I know about it and stuff like that, or a shared memory. Or
That is what happens. I think a lot of us are there's people who are who are creatively trying to bring people into places, right? You try to do cooking.
totally, yeah,
I try to tell stories about
Yeah,
my
totally.
through comedy.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully, I'm doing it correctly, but still, I've tried because my style is of comedy. My sense of humor is usually stories, and bring like a very weird. Hopefully, I can bring like a very different perspective of stuff.
I think so.
And sometimes or most of the time it's usually very sad. Like this is one time where recently on Thursday on
Okay.
Wednesday I was talking to I did a set, and at the end of the open mic, there are few people came out to me and said, "Hey, you're very funny, but I hope you're all right.
Right,
I hope that you are okay with your life.
right.
If you need a hug, okay."
Okay, it could be the. I guess then you just gotta fine tune the balance a little bit and make it less.
Sad.
know.
That's what I
Or
realized.
just sad can be really fucking fun. Sad's usually the funniest, you know, because it's the extremes of emotion. Like you just, oh man, like sadness and awkwardness are, I think, the kind of major ones that elicit that reaction of laughing.
I think awkwardness is because of his nervousness, the nervousness, tension in the room. But sadness wise is like, wait, am I supposed to feel that?
Right.
Am I supposed? And a lot. There's a lot of times where when people come out to me, especially like a lot. It's a lot these days. Where I know comedy come from sad places. I hope that you're really all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but that's where I come from. That's our perspective. You look at the local comics, right? Most of them doesn't have a sad like appeal towards it. I realize that my style of comedy, I find it funny because most of music or most of movie that I watch, I love those sad version of it. Like when people play music, like I love Tuesday's Gone instead of Still Home Alabama.
Right.
My favorite song from I love Sarah Bareilles a lot, but not like the slightly happier version of songs. I like Delta blues. I like blues that's a lot like you know that comes from a very sad place.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite comics are usually passive aggressive, anger, and not those really happy ones.
Yeah.
Oh, like I hated a lot of like, hey, look at me, right? I'm kind of happy, but I really love those slightly passive aggressive, anger issues. Maron, Pepitone, Jack D, Stuart Lee.
I find Jack T. I think Jack T is funny, but I find him a bit much sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the trap of becoming a sadness junkie, right? Which is like
I think that's a little bit too late. But
no, but it's like because at the end of the day, like happiness is a drug, right? Sadness is a drug. It's things that are made in your brain, serotonin or whatever, make you feel certain ways. So feeling sad releases stuff within you, right? And you feel it. You feel sad. It's not I think sad, you know. Oh, I think angry. No, you feel within you. I feel sad. I feel angry, and and it's a feeling, right? And it's for better or worse, some days you go through life without feeling, but then you kind of hit across this and you're like, oh, fuck, there it is. Like, oh, that thing that's in me. Like, oh, now I feel. And then the day is like a real one because you felt something. But like, there are other feelings. You know, you don't have to be, like, I don't like super smiley comedians, but I fucking love silly comedians, right? I like Ross Noble and stuff like that. Eddie Izzard, you know, Eddie Izzard I think is probably one of my top 3 comedians. Absurdity is great, you know. So that's kind of where I get off on the comedy. I love Rage. I think Rage is hilarious because I rage as well. So you want to watch stuff that you relate to. So mine is always like absurdity and anger, and yours is like sadness and anger. And other people have like happiness and absurdity or whatever, you know.
But I feel that sadness and anger is something that I'm not sure why. All right, I think sadness and anger is so much more easier to relate to.
Well, they're very close too. Sadness and anger. I mean, you can switch.
It's very
You
easy
go
to
very,
switch.
very, very sad. Like I know that I've got like I wouldn't say like a rage trigger, but like fucking, I can get really angry when I'm really sad, right? Because my sadness comes out as anger. So I need to be really on top of my game in my head about how I think and how I feel, because and it sometimes mixed with. It's when sadness mixes with fear that it becomes anger. I find in me, right? So if I'm sad because I haven't done something and I'm worried that I might get in trouble from it, then I get angry with myself. That's the path. The two come together and they form this anger within me. Everyone's different, you know. Like
Mine is where anger it switched to sadness.
oh, okay,
You get what I mean? It's
Interesting.
it's most of the time when it first hits me.
yeah. Like
bit-
oh, that's fucking stupid. Oh, the world sucks. Like that kind of thing. Or
It feels like, what the fuck is happening? Right?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right.
And it turns into like, why?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. It get and then it gets like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
Why?
totally.
And it gets like, you know, it's all right. I'll handle it. I'll move on. Because it feels so much more. It feels way much easier like that. It feels. I'm not sure whether is it because I've not done well in what I think. Because during my school days, I'm not the most charming person in my class. I'm I'm um I'm still the only single guy. Or no, I'm not the only single guy because some of them just got broke up with their
Right.
girlfriends. But I'm the only single guy for my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I do not have my social life isn't that great.
Yeah.
Right. Most of them are comics.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So and my I don't know, and my parents doesn't compliment me. Like we kind of okay with each other.
Yeah.
Like we are tolerate we tolerate each other very easily.
Yeah.
But other than that, not that much, right? So I think that it's easier for me. I'm not sure whether is it easier for me to be in that situation where sadness is easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
And then it's like you steam down anger a lot.
Yeah.
You go, okay, so he's all right now, right?
Right.
And you go, yeah, that's not much anger. I can tell myself, okay, it's okay to let other emotions to come in as well, right?
It's interesting how you kind of spiral down and I spiral up. Like if I get sad, I get angry. But if you get angry, you get sad. And I'm trying to catch it right in the middle, right? So like when you're like, oh, what the fuck is happening? Like, goddamn, like, why the fuck did you do that? Like getting angry and then just like, why would you do like, just dejected? Like, why would you do that? Like that kind of thing. Instead of letting it go to the sadness part of why did you do that, you could let it just sit in the kind of more philosophical part, which is like, I wonder why he did that. You know, like, so you could, then you instantly become a scientist and you remove all emotion, right? Because now you're looking at cause and effect and you're looking at maybe someone's history and like there's, it's really satisfying and horrible because it feels really good to be angry with someone, to be sad with someone, to be whatever, you know, but when you take a step back and you try to understand why people act a certain way, you lose that instant emotional, you know, like you lose that thing because you're now objective and you're looking at kind of the facts, and it allows you to step back and be like, okay, all right, so this guy is being an asshole to me. Why? You know, like maybe he's had a rough day, maybe he's fucking, or maybe I said something that like made him think of something from his fucking childhood and his childhood was bad, so that I understand why he shouted at me. And like, you know, you start thinking that way, you snip off the next leg of the emotion, you know, because you're now just going like, oh, that's okay, I get it. Like, I don't feel good that he said that to me. It made me feel bad, but I don't need to feel bad about him also. I can just be like, that sucks, whatever. Like, but you know, it's his nature.
I don't. I don't. When I lose my steam and it goes down to sadness, it felt better. Where you just let all the emotions slide off. Sometimes it may goes into like a bitterness, which I realize it can handle. I'm not sure that it can step outside of the empathetic zone quick enough to take a look at these things because it felt too dangerous. Like, it felt like it felt like when you charge a battery, but it does not charge quick enough. But you have to go out of the house, and you got not enough. The battery does only last you to halfway.
Okay.
To the halfway through a destination and go to the other end. It doesn't feel like I'm not sure that I've released enough I've released not enough that released enough energy to feel like, hey, this is good enough for me, this is cool enough for me, I'm able to have I can look at you at a perspective that I'm ready to look at, that I'm ready to empathize with you, right? That's what I'm afraid of all the time. That's what I'm afraid of, like saying, hey, are we okay now? Right? That's why I don't raise my anger that easily. I'm not like aggressive anger. I don't show it on my face.
Yeah.
I'm a very passive, anger, right? When I'm angry with you, when I'm annoyed at you, no one will know very easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no one know that when I'm angry with them unless I like, hey,
Yeah.
you're an asshole. Like
Yeah.
you pissed me off too much. You go,
Totally.
fuck you, you're an asshole, and I have to walk off.
Yeah.
And by the time when I walked off, I've that the amount of hatred that I've had with you is just quite high. And I don't see the reason why I have to show that to people like they.
Well, what would happen if you just said something like really, really, really early on before it got to the stage where, because like oh, fuck, I know people that I'm just like, get the fuck away. Like I cannot stand being near them. Right? They just irritate the shit out of me for no reason. Well, no, for every reason. Like everything they do just irritates the shit out of me, right? But sometimes you just gotta say something early on to like nip that in the bud, or else it just grows and grows and grows, and then you get to the point where you spend so much time in your head trying to be like, okay, don't look angry, even though you're fucking pissed off with this dude right next to you. Then you're just living up in your head, and you're not thinking about other stuff. You're thinking about like be angry or don't be angry with this one person, and you know.
I've met people who piss me off, who irritates me. If you're in a tolerable level, like if you haven't crossed, if I haven't reached a point where where I need to walk off, and walking off is still below the point where I have to scream at you.
Totally.
But when I scream at you, it's you. I've crossed.
Yeah.
I'll be no
Comics
horse.
get angry quick, like we do. It's true, you know, because we don't have time for bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, there's no time for bullshit. There's no time for fakery. There's no time for messing around, lies, stories, keeping up with the Kardashians, keeping up with appearances. Like we don't give a fuck. You're funny or you're not. You're a nice person or you're not. That's it. That's it. It's like I don't care what you wear. Like I don't care about all of this shit. So like, yeah, we get angry really easily with what other people may consider menial bullshit, but it's not menial to us because it means something. It means a lot. Like if this person says, "Oh, well, why would you even care about that?" It's like because goddamn it, the potato goes on the right, you know, like or just something like whatever, like really gets to you. You know, it's.
I know
we're weird. Comments are weird.
It feels like there's no need for me. If there's a reason why people should know that I'm angry. If you're okay, look. If you're sensitive enough, and you know that my anger came up, you know that I'm angry. Right?
But you can't say.
But however,
can't say that though.
Yeah, I mean at a lower level, when there are people who knows me very well and sensitive enough to pick up like points like saying that, hey, this guy's hey, Gary's angry. Right.
But you can't make it everyone else's responsibility.
Yeah,
it's not to be psychically aware of your emotions.
Yeah, that is why I realized that. Okay, look, I'm not saying that people should be aware. But if you go across where people, I will tell you, hey, that's not good.
Oh, then that's
what.
Yeah,
that's
if you said stuff.
Yeah.
But then that person's an asshole. Like,
yeah,
and you get assholes.
but I wouldn't burst like unless there are times where if I get annoyed at you too much, or there's a point where I think anger I have to spill over. I'll first walk away, or I'll tell you, hey, I'll give hints. I'll say, hey, can you stop? And it's not those subtle. It's like, hey, can you stop doing that? All right, this is gonna piss me off.
Well, if you've said stuff, then then it's their fault.
but when go over, when you spill over, when I start to scream, that's when I realize that that's where the anger is a bit too much to bear. The emotion is a bit too much to bear. I don't see the reason why you should scream at anyone.
No.
Until, and my tolerance level for pissiness is very, very high, right? Where I will not say very high, but I will say I think I can tolerate a huge amount of anger, right? But but it will build up.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a very bad day at the start of the day till maybe around 8 p.m. and I still have, and it's gonna be a very long night.
Yeah.
I think that the
Talk
anger.
to more people about it. Like we fall into a trap because we're guys that we don't talk about stuff, right? It's a big trap, you know. But like, who's to say that women are the only ones with emotions? You know, like we need to talk about stuff too. Like, and just getting it off your chest, just being able to like phrase. Because interesting stuff happens when you phrase stuff in your head to tell someone else. You're now thinking about it from their point of view as to what they want to listen to, right? So that's why often you'll be like, if you want to ask someone a question, or like you can't figure something out, so you ask someone else, and it's just as you're asking them, like, hey, how do you like find the middle angle or whatever, and then it's like while you're asking them, you realize what the answer is. You're like, oh wait, actually no, it's cool. I just got it.
Oh, yeah.
It's because your brain's now looking at it from a different point of view, right? So talking about stuff gives you that other point of view. You know, it's not just like, fuck this guy bouncing around in your head like all for like 4 hours. You know, I go down that route sometimes, you know, and then I have to catch myself and be like, oh, all right, just damn, like I've been thinking about this shit way too long. Like I need to just talk it out with someone.
If I were to talk to, if I were to tell when I tell you stuff, right? It works. It kind of helps, but it didn't really help.
Yeah.
That it kind of, hey, you know what? This is why I'm angry towards you. That
You don't have to talk to the person that you're angry with. You can talk to someone else about them or whatever.
There's a lot of time where I've told, like in the comedy scene, I've told some, hey Sam, this is what happens, and hey, this is what happens, and there are times like, hey, I find this comic, it's PC, like he's annoying, as shit. Steph too, like Stephanie Dogfoot. So where that times like, hey, you find this person, do like he's annoying as shit. And I'm like, yeah, and I've told her that a lot of times, like, this comic find me annoying. I find him annoying. I don't know whether I find him annoying as a person or as a comic, right? So like we do.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. Usually you fall back on the comedy. If you can't decide if you don't like the person or the comedy, say they're. Well, that's hard, man. Because if you say, like, it's easier for you to say that you don't like their comedy because it's less mean about them. But for them, they would prefer that you said they didn't like the person, but they did like the comedy. Ooh, depends how much of an asshole you want to be.
No, but when it comes from defense, right, where because it's stand up, right? If you say that you hate that person in on stage, you're basically you hate that person.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're presenting yourself up on stage.
Yeah.
Or at least a enlarged version of yourself, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that goes up on there, then you think about it, and you have to think about what is coming out. What do I want to see people? What do I want others to see on me, right? See part of me that they're comfortable with. Yeah. So I do. I'm not sure whether where I may tell someone else that, and if they have the same like stance towards me, okay, at least I'm not alone, right? I'm not the only person that has the same emotion, right? But yeah, so and it gets up to the annoying, and when the annoying, like when he annoys me too much, or when she annoys me too much, when the person annoys me too much, I go, yeah, it kind of hurts, man. It kind of offend me too much. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't need this kind of stuff. I don't need this. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell this person straight in the face. If you still do it, I found that the anger will start spilling.
Right.
I'll first walk away if I can't. I'll spill, and that's when I realized that. And after a while, when the energy level goes low, become sad and sometimes bitter. either sad or bitterness that sets in, and I go, okay. And I think at that point of time when you know that the sadness is okay.
You don't want to be jaded though. Like you still want to. You can't just. Fuck. It's hard. There's no one answer, right? So for some people you shut them out. For some people you kind of ignore them. For some people you are nice to them. For some people you're super nice to them. For some people you're best friends. Like it just. I don't want to say like whatever works because fuck, like people take prescription fucking heroin and it makes them feel fine. It's like that's not a solution. It makes them feel great, but not a solution. So it's like err on the side of caution. Look at yourself like a scientist. That's the two ways that I've found of just detaching from rage.
But I thought
I'll fucking snap at people like it's just like you know, like exactly the same. Like I'll like, hey, can you not do that? Or hey, dude, come on, like, fuck, that's like the third time you've done that, And then like 2 weeks later, dude, I did ask you, and then I'll say nothing, snap. So it's
shut the fuck up.
God, the fuck, damn it. Yeah, exactly. So but that's where I've tried saying, just like you, I've tried saying things a couple of times, and now it's tiring to repeat myself, so I don't bother saying it again, even though he's doing the same thing, and then it all just comes out and I snap. Yeah, it's tricky. It would be a lie if I said I'm never gonna snap again at anyone, because I don't know that it's gonna happen, but the fucking chances are pretty good if I roll the dice enough times that one of them's gonna turn up like rage snap.
But do you have rage snap, or do I don't? It feels like my anger, my anger doesn't come very easily.
Yeah.
The where I split and rage, it's not that easy. But to build up anger, like passive anger, passive aggressiveness, it's I got very good at it.
Totally.
It's like so easy to get passive.
Oh yeah.
To get angry passively.
It's really, because like I've got a bad problem with having arguments in my head with people. I'll argue with someone for hours in my head, right? Just coming up with the best lines that I could have said, or like coming up with theoretical arguments so that if it came into reality, I would be super prepared and I could just obliterate anyone in an argument, right? Just because I've gone through it so fucking much in my head, But then I usually end up making the same mistakes anyway, so it doesn't even matter how much I do that it's, hindsight's great, but to sit, they call it stewing. If you sit and you stew for a bit, when you cook something, you stew it, it concentrates down, the water evaporates, it gets thicker, it gets darker, it gets more, like it comes up fucking, same like you, like I'll do the same. I'll be thinking, something will happen like on the bus or whatever, and I'll be like, I was a bit of an asshole. And then I'll get home and I'll be like, why didn't I just be like, oh yeah, well, monkeys are people too, or like, just have like a great fucking lot, and then I'll think about it later at night or the next day, and then I'll be doing it, but I have to realize that I'm doing it to stop it. That I have to realize, whoa, hold on, you're like fucking obsessing about a nothing incident that happened a month ago, a year ago, like just let it go, like how. But it sticks in your mind, it's unresolved issues or whatever.
I love to do that. Where we just sit down and stew.
It's fun. It's cathartic.
Yeah, but it feels very good. It's like, yeah,
it does feel good.
It does feel really good. It feels like you win the argument.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you get all of those neurotransmitters going through your body as if you did win.
Yeah.
So you get that feeling, and the feeling of loss is replaced by like 8 feelings of winning, because you've just fucking obliterated them like in 8 different, conversation ending mic drop moments, you know.
But I don't. It felt really good where we just win the argument,
Yeah.
and you don't win it like by like 0.006 seconds, but, in a 100-meter dash.
Totally.
But you feel so
Obliterate.
much better
Oh, yeah.
if you just, it's like a stack of win. It's like you win by negative 5 minutes on a 100-meter race. It's like, look at me, right? I won.
But the danger comes with if you're. For me, it's saying something dumb. That's what really fucks me up because I can be quite cutting with people, like really acerbic. Getting into an argument, if it's, I don't know, if I'm in an argumentative mood and you've taken me to a place where I'm no longer arguing from a place of logic and reason, I might go dirty, and I might fucking say something that's like a total gut shot and instantly regret it. But it'll just come out because for that half a heartbeat of a second, you've just taken the total legs out from under the person that you're talking to, so you're higher, right? It's total hollow victory because now everyone regrets everything that's gone on. You regret saying it, they regret hearing it, they're going to think about it for a while, you're going to think about saying it for a while. Fuck. Like, this is way worse than it could have been. But there's just something in you that wants to go like, fucking say it. Just fucking say it. Remember that, like, oh, she's got like a wonky ear, or like he's got, I don't know. You just pick out a trait
That's the reason why your father left you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like
exactly.
that. That feels like
just some out of nowhere left hook that's horrifically mean, and then because then you just see the person like break a little bit, and you're like, fuck yeah. And you're like, oh no, what have I done? Oh no. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Like but then you can be like, look, I'm sorry. Like, it came out, we were arguing, blah blah. Maya Angelou, man. People, you might forget what is it? People will forget the words you said, but they'll never forget how they made you feel, or something like that. Yeah, it's totally true.
I know.
Living's tricky. Social norms and being nice and like talking to people and having everyone, it's all part of being a person. It's a juggling act.
But I feel, I don't know. It felt like I'm not sure whether at what age do you feel like it's okay to blurt everything out. But you feel like it.
I think it comes from your.
I'll never be prepared for the stage where I'm old enough to say, hey, you're okay. You can blurt everything out, and nobody will give a shit.
I mean, I don't think it's about age. I think it's just about how you do it. I don't think that you necessarily have to be. A certain. I don't think a number ever comes. If you're looking for a number to be like, okay, once I hit 40, then I'll be an adult, and I can look back and forgive myself. No, you're gonna reach 40, and you're gonna feel exactly how you feel now.
That's like the most horrible way of realize life doesn't, because of this.
It's good. It's bad, man. Like,
of this,
Yeah.
But it feels like because of this bit about like telling like I don't know what to do with my life.
Right.
And I really don't.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's really sad.
Yeah.
To keep doing that joke all the time.
Dude, I think it's almost funnier saying like, this is a joke I've been telling for 4 years. I have no idea what to do with my life.
Yeah.
Like that. Because usually people don't want to know if it's a joke that you told before. They want everything to be new and fresh. But that kind of thing of saying like, I have said I have no idea what I'm doing for fucking years.
And it felt like it feels like you just break the fourth wall and just click with people and and the joke itself is like, hey,
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't
don't
know
know.
I don't know what to do in my life, and it kind of this is why that joke broke two huge group of people, right? This is one time where I did it like in front of people who are very confident about their life, who went for a comedy show, and know what to do in their life. They have a plan out. They know what to do in their life.
No one knows exactly what they're doing.
or
Everyone lies.
Or at least they feel like they feel like they have everything planned out in their life. They work in a bank.
That just means they lie to themselves.
I don't know. You feel like they got money in their bank,
totally.
and they work. They have high paying job, but people. But they felt confident in their life, and they are those kind of people who doesn't need comedy shows to make themselves feel better, right? And I've watched them, and
Or
I've
maybe
done.
they're exactly the person you need to sit because they feel so hollow.
I
Because
know,
they're
you
like,
feel-
damn, I thought I would have been happy by now. I got these shoes, I got the car, I got the 5
but
C's.
but if they are aware of that part, I that joke might work, right? But I've done jokes like I don't know what to do in my life. I'm 26. I don't know what to do in my life, and I've done that joke. It splits. People are aware that they are feeling hollow, or people are really depressed in their life. They laugh at that bit because that relate.
Totally.
That I think they relate to that joke a lot.
Yeah.
And the other part where they're like huge, they're top of their game.
Yeah.
And they are not aware or they're content with their life.
Yeah.
They won't laugh at that joke because it's like, why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't I feel good? Why wouldn't I feel that way?
But I can also imagine someone that's like, imagine they are 40 and a doctor, right? And they've been pushed by their parents to be a doctor ever since they were born, pretty much, right? So you, from the outside looking in, you might look at this guy and go, damn, like this dude's a doctor, he's got a fucking car, he's got family, like, wow, okay, he's made it. He might be thinking, man, I want to go and watch someone that's not being pushed by external forces to do something. They're getting pushed by internal forces to do something. And they might look at you as way more free than them, because at least you have the freedom and you have the wherewithal and the brain within you to say, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this, people go to comedy to be free, to laugh, to let their brain be taken over by the comedian for a little bit. Let them talk and guide you through and stuff.
But that's what people is like. Where I don't. It feel like if people want to really feel better about themselves, they or people would want to go and have something to relate to. You will go to a live comedy show if you know how it helps you, right? Because you see people up on stage trying to figure out their life, trying to figure out what's happening with their life. But if you're going for a comedy show, and you wake up like the rainbow going across your bedroom. You see a unicorn galloping across it. It felt really good. And you go for a comedy show. I think you're just trying to validate your happiness at least for that day.
Yeah, you could do. I mean, well, it also depends who you go and see, like what type of comedian you're going to watch.
But let's say it's an open mic. You don't know who you are watching, and you when you go there, like you don't have any acts at all. But if you go to a comedy show and you have a great day, it's a way to validate yourself. Hey, you got a good day. I don't need to feel if a comic goes up on stage and want some love. And as a guy who had a great day, I won't go and go, hey, I need you to validate something. I just want you to keep up my good day. I don't need to feel sorry for you. You just go up on stage for 5 minutes and that there's no reason. There's no reason for So it felt like, hey, but the style. Some people have the style of humor that's able to validate people who had a great day. The comics who are able to do that, which I really respect. Sammy is able to do that. Fast Rishi Jakes is able to get people who really wants to go for a show to have a laugh, even if or have a good day. They want to go for a laugh, right? Sure, why not? But I realize my style of humor or some jokes that I do just wants people to relate. Just wants people to go. You know what? I'm here with you as well. I'm in the same shitty situation, or that I try to relate. That I think I can relate to you, and a lot of times they are, and I think I just found like a group of them recently. And the joke about like I'm 26 this year and I still don't know what I've been doing, and I've done that joke for going to 3 years now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, cool, and they're like, yeah, I feel you, I'm okay with you.
But is that I'm 26 and I don't know what to do with my life. Is that a joke, though?
It's probably a bigger joke.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, that's just like a really common thought. Like everyone has that at some stage. Like I'm X age, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, like I'm 68, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. Like I think you're always gonna feel like that in some way. I don't think anyone's really got it together at all.
I don't. I really do wish that everyone does have that thought, but it feels really sad to realize that everyone has that thought.
Yeah.
So it's like it's comforting to know, but it's really sad to know as well. It's like, wait, shouldn't at one point I should be wise enough to know what to do with my life?
What's wise enough? How do you like? Why anything? Like we exist in such a weird thing anyway, right?
Yeah, but it feels like it feels like at least you're in control. At one point in time, you realize that you may be in control of something, which sometimes we really do want, right? Just a little bit of control in things that we can control. Like, I would like to know who my soulmate is.
Right.
I really would like to know if I can.
Do you believe there's just one soulmate out there for you?
I don't even know if I have one.
Well, you can't think about like it's really dangerous to be like going into to meet any person, well, any woman or man, whatever, and be like, I wonder if they're my soulmate. I wonder, like, just as soon as you have that thought, it's gonna broadcast to every single person around you, and it's gonna freak everyone out. Like, if you meet someone for the first time and you see this look in their face that says, I'm thinking whether or not you're my soulmate, you're going to be like, oh, Jesus, like, I need to fucking, hey, yeah, it was nice knowing everyone here. Like, it's way too much too fast. Like,
but it'd be nice to know. I know. It feels like, I've been rejected. I think it's because I've been rejected for a lot of times where it's only recently, 3 years ago, where I managed to get my very first date, and I'm and it doesn't go anywhere, right? I only had
my first date didn't go anywhere.
No, as in I only had 2 first dates. That's all.
You can't have 2 first dates. You have 1 first date.
No, as in 1 first date with one girl and 1 first date with another girl. That's all. There's no follow up dates for
So
both
it didn't
girls.
work out, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't work out. But it kind of like, because of my I'm 27 this year, 24 years of life, I tried to ask girls out for a date, like and it either ends up girls are wondering, hey, is this even a date? Wait, this is a date, or you end up like no, right? And I'm very comfortable with like people saying no. I got get rejected very quick if people reject me. I'm like,
That's because you live in your head in the sad part. So all of like the pathways in your brain, they're so used to going down to the sad part. All right, there's very little pathway that like goes the other way. You've got so much traffic in one direction. You know, like going down the sad path. It's just these grooves in your brain have just been so heavily like run that like anytime this thought that wants to go up the happy route and like imagine what could possibly be in a happy sense, it just instantly gets kicked back down that sad route. So that's why you're like, oh, I'm okay with being sad. It's cool. Like I'm used to if they want to say no, that's whatever. I know how that goes. It's because you've been there in your head so many times. You know.
I know, but but okay, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think being happy is a place that scares me a lot. Was I saying that? Hey, so if I'm happy now, so what's next?
Yep.
What do I do with my life after
Yep.
that? There's nowhere else that I'll be able to go. There's if I'm happy, so what else can I achieve? What other things? What other things that what's so interesting about being happy? I would rather be sad
Why?
and things can happen there.
Why? Like what can happen there? That things can happen in sadness as well.
Yeah,
Things can happen in sadness as well.
It feels like it feels like if you get rejected or things doesn't go well, you go down in sadness. It feels like it's a defense mechanism.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you shut off.
It's just go. Oh yeah, things doesn't happen. I can't expect it that way.
Yeah.
I don't invest too much. I invest 70%.
And they're gonna feel that if you're on a date and you're only investing 70% because you feel like they're gonna say this isn't gonna work out, so that's why you didn't put everything into it. It's not gonna work out because you didn't put everything into it. Like, it's that simple. If you go into it thinking, "Oh, she's gonna say no," she'll say no. She'll say no. But just because you go into it thinking she'll say yes doesn't mean she'll say yes, right?
Yeah, that's what
So you just have to be positive, man. Like, I hate when people say that. I fucking hate it because I'm like, how about I just be miserable? How about that, right? How about fuck you and go away and leave me alone? But it's like Jen and I was happenstance. Just happened to work out. Dude, I've been fucking dumped and said no to like a bunch of times. Like, it's fine. It's fine because it's funny looking back now. Everyone that I thought like, oh my god, this is the one. You know, like I would like see someone on a train and fall in love. And be like, oh my god, we're gonna have like 8 babies together. You know, and then when they're getting off the train, and be like, oh my god, heartbreak. You know, like that happens. You know, like earlier on, and I don't know. I got used to it. Got a little bit jaded. Got angry that I was jaded, and just tried to change up. Shake things up, you know.
I'm not sure that I've gone into the jaded part yet, where I wouldn't ask for a girl because I did try, and I'm still trying to ask like, hey, do they want to hang out?
Totally.
Like in like, oh, hey, do they want to go out, like a date kind of thing? Where
Don't call it a date. That's so scary in the beginning.
do you like to hang out?
Yeah.
Like, and
Do you want to get a drink sometime?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And I still do that. Right. But the previous times where I've not yet get as jaded as I am right now, where I'm still asking, and I think the amount of time that I got rejected is that I feel that that I know they can't expect like what did everyone else answered. So it feels like it feels very comforting to know. Okay, I can't know the answer, but I still try for it. But I still, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to go for a drink? I still do that. But I feel that if I don't invest myself too much, and she says no, I'm able to say, yeah. See,
You're giving yourself an excuse. Like you're allowing yourself to be like, oh, I was right all along. What a bitch. Because you're not putting everything into it. So of course she's not gonna, you know, like if you kept handing in maths exam papers, right, that you'd fill out 70% of the way, right? And you're like, I don't understand why I don't get A's. What the fuck? Give me a fucking A. Like, I'm like, well, why would I give you an A? You didn't answer everything, right? Like, that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna give you an A if you only do 70% of the work, right? It's just unless my A grade is 70%. In other words, I'm a for-profit school and I'm just making money. But like, you know, it's fuck, man. Put it all out there, it gets shut down. It is what it is. Put it all out there again, gets shut down again. It is what it is. I still think of being, I think I was like, dude, I might have been like 5. or 6 years old, at like a birthday party or something, and it was kind of in the evening, and then I think that a couple of kids had gone around the back, and we were like playing like Kiss Dare or something like that, and I remember getting freaked out in my head and being like, no, I changed my mind, I don't want to, and I turn around. To this day, I still think about it. To this day, I still think about being 5 or 6 years old and turning around from a fucking Kiss Dare thing. Even though the person that I had a crush on was asking me to do it right there, right? Turn around, I don't know, I just got in my head about it. And I was like, and I just, enough. Like, I couldn't deal with it.
Have you ever thought that what happens after that? Like what
All the
happens?
time. All the time. But there's nothing I can do about it.
I do.
I think about that shit all the fucking time, but I can't do anything about it. Like I've kind of. Well, I used to think about that shit all the time. Let me rephrase. I used to think about that shit all the time. Every once in a while, it'll pop up now, and I'll kind of laugh about it. But before, like literally since it happened, until I was like 28 or something. Right, I would just still be like, why didn't you just fucking kiss her? Why didn't you just kiss? It was like a kiss on the cheek, like, you know. But when you're 5 or 6 or whatever, that's a big deal, you know. Or like, and it was like dumb shit, but yeah, it still pops into my head every once in a while, and I think about that, you know. I'm like, oh damn, I wonder what would have happened, you know.
I don't know if when things happen like that, if I'm not sure whether it, and I'm very contented with my life if there's this one person who, where there's this one scene like you're saying, why didn't I kiss that girl? And I'll just go into like a very, very tragic story so that I can link it back way up here.
Sure.
to where I'm caught in.
Yeah.
And then go, oh yeah, see, I have a better life than you. I win, right? Like telling to the girl at that age.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that, hey, I should have kissed the girl. But in the end, I'll make one whole huge story up, a narrative arc together. And I'll tell the girl at that age, in my head, I was like, I won, right? I'm a better person. What about you? What have you done with your life?
Yeah. I mean, it's mental masturbation to like coming up with all of these scenarios in your head where you're the winner and you come out the best, and great. Yeah, great. You came up with a thing in your head that said you were the best. It's not real. Right? It's not real.
But
You know,
but that's what we want, right? Just to
what we
win.
long for. That's why we watch movies, because movies have happy endings, and we know what's gonna happen. It's like it's slightly formulaic. We get the uncertainty sucks. Uncertainty sucks. Sucks a fat dick, right? So you can get these feelings out of the way from watching things that have like a good ending, right? But then once it's over, I mean, for like while you're watching the movie, great, you're watching the movie. And when it's over, you think about the movie, you relate, and you compare, and you fuck. God damn it! Like this is different. And you're back there again, you know. And then you're like, oh, I gotta watch a movie. So you gotta like, unless you really just have a think about why and like how and all that kind of stuff, and you're just gonna keep going back to the same place, you know. People are weird. Brains are funny and weird and horrible, and memories are weird and funny and horrible. And what are you gonna do? Like, it's tricky, but it's part of life, man. You know, it's what more can you do but try and like. When I reimagine stuff, I usually reimagine my stuff as saying the best thing or the coolest thing or the quickest, the sharpest, or being the hero or whatever. But I usually get more enjoyment out of real scenarios where I'm not that guy, right? Yeah. But it's only plus time that I recognize that, you know. So it's only like at the time you feel like a total asshole or just like a fucking loser, like, oh my Christ, I can't believe I just did that. And then a year later, you're like, dude, do you remember when fucking this guy did the thing? And you were like, oh my God. And he did the, and you were like, ah, you know? And it's funny. It's hilarious. But because you're out of that situation and you can look back and you don't have that fear, that anxiety, that pressure of what to do on you because you've already kind of solved it and look back. And you can say like, oh my God, look at the way I was acting. That's why I made this decision, you know? And that's why you laugh about it because it's absurd. It's like, if you had that situation again, chances are I wouldn't have done the same thing because now you have that hindsight, you know? It's, what are you going to do?
All right. Well, I think I should say thank you.
Are we calling it? I
Yeah.
was just checking.
It's 1 hour 28. It's
Oh yeah, have we been?
Yeah. It's
Damn, son. And we even missed out a bunch of stuff in the beginning.
Yup.
Okay, so
Yes.
what are the takeaways for this episode? Number 1, don't live in the past all the time. Sometimes it's good. 2, watch Black Mirror.
That's
Right?
that's a good way to end. To watch Black Mirror. We are
What-
plugging Black Mirror for
Yeah, totally.
for no money.
No, it's zero money.
It's volunteering, plugging for
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
100%. If you like getting your head twisted, watch some Black Mirror. It's good. It's freaky. It'll make you think. Dude,
Wow.
this was fun. I enjoyed
This
this.
is fun.